How is all doing? Welcome back to 100% NUFC. So it's the Newcastle United versus Fulham match preview. It's this Saturday at St James's Park at 3 o'clock kickoff. Now, if you are cold, get yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of hot chocolate, as it could be at least 5 minutes of watching. So, what to expect this Saturday? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this video into 3 parts. We're going to talk about our opposition Fulham, and then talk about my team Newcastle United, and then we'll talk about my starting 11 with a final score prediction. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, put your comments in down below and let us know your starting 11 and your score predictions. Now, let's look at the form table. So Newcastle United, my team, currently sits 14th in the Premier League. We have won 4 games, we've drawn 4 games, and we have lost 9. Whereas Fulham, on the other hand, are currently rock bottom of the Premier League. They have won 2, drawn 3, and lost 12. Now, looking at both forms, it's not exactly amazing, but I'd rather take Newcastle form over Fulham form any day of the week. Now, let's talk about our opposition, Fulham. So Fulham have just been promoted back to the Premier League after a 5-year away from the Premier League, getting relegated under Felix Magath. Fulham, this season, have spent a lot of money in the summer window. They were expected to use that money to, be comfortable in the Premier League, finish around about mid-table and kick on from there. They got promoted under Slavia Jokanovic, who missed out on the Premier League the season before. And they've signed some good players, such as Alexander Mitrovic, who used to play for us, Andre Schürrle, and they just haven't really hit the form this season. The problem with Fulham is not the sort of going forward, it's at the back. They leak a lot of goals in, too many for my liking. Their goal difference is shocking, and if you don't score goals and you leak goals in at the same time, you're going to be there and thereabouts at the bottom of the league and you're going to get relegated. And that's why, because the money that Fulham have spent, the manager has decided to be not wanted by the current owner, and he got sacked, and he's just been replaced by ex-Leicester manager Claudio Ranieri, who won the Premier League with Leicester City back in 2016. Now, under Ranieri at the moment, they are getting better going forward. They are expressing themselves a lot more. But the problem is they're still leaking in goals, and that's the problem. I still think Ranieri needs to wait until January to bring in a lot more experience at the back and a couple of strikers in. That's going to help Fulham, progress up the Premier League table, because it's been a struggle for them. This season, Fulham, a bit like Newcastle, they'll look to win the home games, draw a couple of games here or there, and get a couple of wins away from home to make sure that they've got Premier League football for next season. Now, Fulham have got some good players, don't get us wrong. So look at Alexander Mitrovic, for example. He didn't really have a good time at Newcastle. He done well at first, but then Rafa Benitez didn't rate him. He couldn't fit into the system. And then he got signed on loan in the Championship when Fulham were down there. His experience really counted for them. They managed to get out of the Championship, and Mitrovic was a big part of that. And they eventually signed him in the summer for big money. They've also got players such as Kamara, who like to play in that midfield. They like to play as like a 3 with like a couple of wingers, if you like. They like to sort of stay middle, but then they'll go like onto the wing if they want to. So let's go with Kamara, another young lad, who had chances against West Ham last week because they lost by 2-0. But he's one of those players who's big, powerful. He likes to create an opportunity himself. He likes to, get forward. He likes to bring others into the game, such as Andre Schürrle. He's another one who they signed from Chelsea. They've got experience there. Also, I say from Chelsea, they signed him from another club, but he used to play for Chelsea. He's like a winger, if you like, but he likes to play as a number 10. He's got experience. He's got that know-how of the Premier League. That's why Fulham got him in. And then on one side, they got Tom Cairney as well. So Tom Cairney, who's someone we were looking to buy, but we didn't in the end. He liked to stay at Fulham. He's another one who likes to get forward. He likes to create an opportunity. Big, powerful, very good at set pieces. And we need to be wary of those 3 midfielders, because they will feed in Mitrovic at every opportunity. And talking of Mitrovic, we all know what he can do. He's big, he's powerful. He likes to have a ball into the box. He likes to use his head. He likes to control a shot and hit it first time. And yes, he scored 5 goals this season. He's been a bit off boil, but we need to be wary of what Mitrovic can do, and we all know what he's about. Fulham at the back, obviously, have got problems. They're leaking in goals. That's their big problem this season. But we need to be wary of what they can do going forward if we're not careful. Now, let's look at Newcastle United, my club. So at the minute, we've come off the back of a 1-0 away win away to Huddersfield. It was by no means a classic. we weren't brilliant. The first half, Huddersfield were always going to have the ball. It was all about soaking up the pressure and then sort of hitting them on the counter-attack, in the second half, which is exactly what we did for the first sort of 20 minutes. We took the lead through Rondon, a great set piece. Or should I say a set piece? No, it wasn't. It was a ball by Manquillo, good run, should I say. Ball into the box, and Rondon was on hand to finish. And then, we should have scored the second by Jose Perez if it wasn't ruled for offside, which, to be fair, was onside. Then, could have been comfortable there and then. But, we hung on, we got the 1-0 win, and we're playing better away from home than we are at home. The last time that we played Fulham was back in the Championship, and they'd done the double over us. Beat me 1-0 at Craven Cottage. That was like the first game of the Championship season. We lost. Simon Hooper, the referee, had a bit of a nightmare. We lost our first game. We were bottom of the Championship. Everyone was panicking. And we went on to lose a couple of games before slowly getting ourselves going in the Championship. And then in the reverse fixture at St James's Park, we lost by 3-1. Young winger Ryan Sessegnon scored 2. We should have had a hat-trick, and they should have beat with 4-1 if Tim Ream wasn't so greedy and took the penalty himself. Now Fulham, they're going to be no pushovers. We've got a mixed record against them. Again, they're a team bottom of the league. But this season, Fulham will be targeting us because we're not very good this season at home. That's nothing to do with the atmosphere. It's just because we're slow starters. We don't really seem to get started. And Fulham will be, looking at that. Ranieri will be targeting that. You'll be thinking, right, Newcastle, don't seem to start very well at home. Let's get it, Newcastle right from the off. But I think it's all about us taking the game to Fulham from the first whistle. If we get the first goal, we can go on and get 2 or 3 because Fulham, like I've said, leak in goals. They're not the best defensively, and they haven't really exactly got all the experience in the world. And I just think this is a must-win game for us because the next games after that are Liverpool away, followed by Watford, and then Manchester United. So they are winnable games. They're going to be tough games, but they are winnable if we obviously put our mind to it. But this is a must-win game for us. That's no disrespect to Fulham. These are the sort of teams that will have to be beaten at home. If we can get 19 points, then that is halfway to safety. You need at least 38, 39, 40 points to stay up. Over it's getting a bit tight, maybe 41, 42. I think Rafa Benitez should keep the same team that played against Huddersfield. You don't change something that's not broken. Rafa Benitez knows that. I know he's been tinkering with the team quite a lot. But this time I don't think he should really change the team because it played well against Huddersfield. It dug in there. Again, yes, it was scrappy. It wasn't good on the eye to watch. But if it gets to another 1-0 win against Fulham, 2-0, 3-0, then so be it. That's what we've got to do. We've got to play the way we did against Huddersfield. But I think this time, instead of just sitting back, we've got to express ourselves a lot more. And what I mean by that is we've got to get forward. We are the home team. We've got to play to the fans. We've got to attack from the off. And we've got to make sure that, we don't leave a blade of grass unturned. We've got to really perform on the pitch this Saturday. And there's going to be a healthy crowd there on Saturday as well because it's just before Christmas. And hopefully Rafa Benitez delivers an early Christmas present for me, the fans, for the game on Saturday against Fulham. Again, Fulham are going to be no pushovers. We just have to be patient because, of course, Fulham will be there to defend. Ranieri will come for the points. He'll not just want Fulham to sit back. Fulham's away record isn't exactly brilliant either. And it's always a Newcastle thing to do where we give a team who hasn't really won a game away from home off. They're not really in good confidence or a good moment. We give them the victory. And you've seen our last few games at home, such as Wolves, West Ham, we haven't won and we've got to turn it around because if we want to stay in the Premier League this season, we'll have to be winning games, at home consistently. And we've got to get back to what it was, St James's Park Fortress. I mentioned this in the video only a few days ago. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below in the description. But the starting 11, I'll keep it the same. As for a score prediction, I think it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Newcastle United. Leave me your score predictions down below in the comments. Are you going to be at the game on Saturday? I certainly will be there. There'll be a match day experience as well. And if you haven't seen the match day experiences, it's just me going to the games, getting a bit of footage from the ground. An experience, for you who can't get to go to the games, at St James's Park. But anyway, the journey now is to get 1,700 subscribers. I got 1,600, so I do thank you for that. If you can go along and subscribe, that really would mean the world to us. If we could try and hit 15 to 20 likes, that would be amazing. And if you're new, like I say, you know what to do. And thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you're at the game. How are the lads?